What's up guys, and I got something really cool for you today. It's the Rival PS5 Pro controller from HexGaming. Now first off, huge shout out to HexGaming for sending this over to me and allowing me to fully customize it to my liking. Now you can buy pre-made designs from Amazon or the HexGaming website, or if you want a custom one like me, you have to go to the HexGaming website. The links will be down below for those of you wanting to check those out. Now I was going for kind of the Black Widow look because the PS5 kind of makes a nice Widow hourglass. As you can see here, I inverted the colors, got red and black there, got some gold there, then the Black Widow stingers in her belt right there, as you can see. Now what makes this controller special is that it's designed for esports and competitive play, and these thumbsticks here are interchangeable. You can just pull them out and replace them. It also comes with back buttons, and the triggers and bumpers can be replaced with what's called FastShots Hair Triggers, which will actually shorten the throw of the buttons, giving it more of a mouse click and faster response times. Now I actually skipped that FastShots Hair Trigger, and I'll explain why later in the review. And then on top of the competitive features, you also get to fully customize the controller, making it all blingy and pretty if you want, or you can go stealth mode. And the best part is, all of this is built on top of an actual official PS5 controller, which means that this controller has everything you have on a PS5 controller, from the little speaker grill, the mic, the speaker that comes out here, the microphone I mean, and then you have the haptic feedback. And for me, since I opted out of the fast triggers, I get the adaptive triggers as well, and you get the motion controls too. Now the base price for this controller actually starts at $250, but for mine, I blinged it out like crazy and made it all pretty, and this actual exact build came out to $295, and that's before tax. So this is a pretty pricey build right here I made. Now I'll do a cost breakdown of this controller with all the parts that are in here, including the PS5 controller, to show you whether it's, overpriced or whether it's reasonably priced. Oh, and if you end up buying a controller after seeing this review, you can use code SMACKIT5 to save 5% on your order on the HexGaming website. But first, let's go and take a closer look at this shiny beauty. Now first and foremost, I actually stuck it right back in the box so you can see the box that it came in and how they package it. There's a bag right there. All right, now let's go and pull it out again. It's like deja vu all over again. It's actually well packaged and seems pretty nice and sturdy, so it don't have to worry about it getting destroyed during shipping. First off, you get this little warranty card here. It says you get 6 months warranty, or you can get 6 months warranty now. It's actually a 90-day warranty, but the thing is, if you follow these instructions right here, or not that instruction, these instructions, it can extend it to 6 months. And then you get the controller nicely padded and packaged right here. And finally, the only other thing is for your thumbsticks. It's actually in this little slot here, easy to miss. Slide that out, and that is it. Nothing else in the box. And then of course you actually get double padding for the controller. It comes in this padding and then bubble wrapped, and then that is it. That is how it's shipped to you. Of course it's in a shipper box that protects all of that, but yeah, that's how it's shipped to you. And of course don't forget the instruction manual. Now for those of you who want to actually read the instructions, you can just pause the video and read it at your leisure. Alright, now back to the controller. First off, I want to say that it's actually very well built and sturdily made. It's no creaks or anything, which is pretty impressive for a custom controller. And starting with the side plate here, I chose chrome red, and the chrome is very beautifully applied and done and super reflective. You can actually see me right there. What's up? Now excuse the smudges if you see any. I tried to wipe them all off before I did close-ups, but I probably missed some spots and added more as I touched it. But anyways, I chose the chrome red as well for the buttons up here to kind of make it blend in. Then I went for the matte black touchpad. Then this decorative plate, I chose matte black as well. You can see it's custom because it has that circular HexGaming logo instead of the PS5 logo. Then the thumbsticks, I chose gold for the interior right there, as well as a red ring to give it more of that Black Widow look. Then on the top triggers here, I went with the chrome red there, and then the gold on the back, as well as on the... Okay, there we go, that's better. I actually just wiped it up because I saw some fingerprints. I wanted the maximum shine for you guys. You can see that right there with the back buttons. Then also on the grip here, I got that little grippy texture that has kind of a... It's like that textured paint. I don't know, it's not actual rubber, but it's like, the spray paint that you use and like on some of the Xbox official controllers or the PlayStation official controllers that have that grippy texture to it. That is what this is made of. Alright, now getting to the pro features here. First off, the thumbsticks are interchangeable here, and it comes with 6 different thumbsticks total, including the ones that are already on the controller, and the other 4 come in this case here, which I find really hard to open. I wish they would make an easier case, feel like I'm gonna break it every time. And here is all 6 thumbstick options that you have. As you can see, you have some concave and some dome right there, and we'll just turn that until it falls off, and there it goes. And if you're wondering how they connect, we'll get a close-up right here. It actually just uses tension and friction, I guess you could say. There's no magnets or clips or anything, and it's kind of hard to see with all the shine, but you see they have the little slots right there. Kind of hooks there and smooth. And then if you look on the inside of this here, get the light to shine there you go. You see the 2 little tabs on the side right there. Get a good shot of that just so you know. That's how they go in. So they only go in one way. If you try to put it in the wrong way, it won't go in. Then when you get the right way, you slide it on down and there it goes. And the thing is, it's actually really tight tolerances on this, so there's actually no wiggle or anything, and it stays on pretty tight, but when you want to get it off, it does come off. So that's how that works, in case you were wondering. Now I'm actually starting to like these dome ones. I didn't used to before, but these actually have kind of a rubbery grip, and usually they're kind of slippery to me, and I think that's because they have that mold release when they're creating them. Well, what I did is, since these actually disconnect, is I actually washed these under the sink with Dawn dish soap, just none of the perfume or none of the moisturizer, so you don't add that slipperiness to it. And it actually made them grippier, and then after that, as I used it more and wore it in, it got even grippier. So now, because of that, I actually enjoy these dome ones, and they have some good grip to it. Although, on a side note, these back grips right here, they have that same issue with the mold release. They're kind of slippery. I used a wet, damp paper towel to kind of wipe them down, but I think they really could use a Dawn dish soap bath, but I don't want to put this under the sink, so I'll just have to deal with that, I guess, for now. But wiping them down did make them better than before. It's just not as rubbery as I want. And a nice thing about these thumbsticks is that they're actually the same size as the PS5 thumbsticks, which means if you have a control freak, you can pull that off and you can stick it right on the HexGaming Rival one, and it fits perfectly fine. As you can see, let's get that in there. It's a really tight fit, but that's good because you don't want any wiggle or play. So yeah. And then going back to these triggers up here, like I said, I opted out of the hair triggers, the FastShots, because I wanted to keep the adaptive trigger feature that's on the original PS5 controller, as you can see right there. Because if you get the FastShot hair triggers, it actually makes it so that it triggers like super short pull, like like that. I think it's like 0.7 millimeters or something like that. Same thing up here. Up here is not too bad, but by doing that, you really just make this a specialized controller just for shooters. So you couldn't really enjoy games like Ratchet and Clank or racing games that require kind of a more finesse to it. So because of that, I'm not really competitive, so I figured I want more of a jack of all trades controller, so I just opted out of those. So yeah. And then moving on to the back buttons here, they actually have a nice click activation to them, and it's actually a very short throw, as you can see right here. Doesn't take much to activate them. You get a nice solid click, which I like. And what's good is that, as you can see, they're kind of floating paddles, and I was afraid that they'd be kind of easy to break, but as you can see, they're pretty durable. You push them all the way down and they actually stop on the controller. So if you're kind of a ham-handed person playing, you can just do that, just smash them right against the controller, and they will not break on you because they have some nice flex to them, and they just get stopped by the actual controller. Although if you throw this across the room in a fit of rage, you're on your own. Now these back paddles can actually be programmed to up to 15 different buttons on the PS5. Here's the diagram if you want to pause and take a look at that. Basically you can't, program it to the mute button or the PS button and these buttons. Man, I'm constantly wiping this controller because it is a fingerprint magnet, just to warn you, but man, when you keep it clean, it looks really pretty. Now, programming these back paddles is super simple at any time, whether you're playing, in a game or just, sitting on the dashboard. You just push this program button right here for about 5 seconds. A red light will illuminate. Then you just select the paddle you want. You keep that paddle pressed down. Press one of the buttons that you want, and in about 2 or 3 seconds, that red light will flash, and this button is now connected to the paddle. Alright, I killed some of the lights so you can actually see the red light there. I really want to show you how it works, so we'll push that for 5 seconds. Wait for the light to come on. There it is right there. It's actually easier to see when you're playing, but in the studio lights, super hard to see. So let's say we want to program it to this button right here. We'll just hold that down, hold that, and you see the blink? That was like 1 second. Or half a second. We'll program to the trigger here. Super fast. As you can see on the fly, you can play. Let's do this button right here. And just like that, you're switched up and you're good to go. And then after you're done, push the program button again for the red light to go off, and then their paddles are now active. Now, like I said, you do have to push this program button again to reactivate the paddles, but that's actually a good thing, because if you find yourself playing a game that doesn't require these paddles, or if you're like watching a movie or watching YouTube, you throw this on your couch or your bed and you accidentally whack that paddle button and it like backs out of the movie or something like that, that can get annoying. So you just push and hold that button until the red light turns on, and I've found that as long as the red light's on, it will not revert back to the active paddles until you push that again. So you just leave it on that red light and the paddles will be permanently inactivated until either you push that button again or you turn off the controller, and you're good to go. Then you don't have to worry about accidental activation. So it's kind of a plus. Little pro tip right there. All right, and to show you this controller in action, I've decided to use PlayStation Remote Play because I tried to film it from my TV and it just looked awful. I have to hardline it into my Mac here because that's the only way I can get the adaptive triggers and stuff. But let's go and check this out. All right, we'll go and unpause here. I have Astro's Playroom playing because it's a great demo for the adaptive triggers and the haptic feedback. Anyways, I have the button right here connected to the attack button. As you can see, he's attacking. Then I just push this button right here and only that button, and he's attacking. And if I want to on the fly, I'll just push and hold this, wait till that red light comes on. Now I'm going to hold that, and then I'm going to connect it to the jump button. Wait till that button flashes, that button flashed. Now I'm going to turn off the programming mode, wait for the red light to go off, and then bada bing, bada boom, now he's jumping. So that is how fast and easy that works there. And then of course, like I said, if you push and hold, wait for the red light to come on, now the triggers, the paddles are inactive. So he's still jumping, but they're inactive. Okay, now I'm gonna go get this little blaster right here. I actually just quickly reprogrammed this one to jump instead and this one to whack, because it's better when I'm, strafing and jumping and stuff. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and jump up here. We're gonna grab that there, not even using these face buttons. Pull that out, get the blaster there. Wait, oh, there we go. Give me the blaster. Okay, and then we're gonna go and show that the triggers still work, as you can see right there. So that is the benefit of not getting fast shots, is that you can still use these adaptive triggers, which is awesome. And then you just go ham now that you don't have to actually take your fingers off the thumbsticks there, so you can just kind of jump and strafe and all that fun stuff. So that is a benefit of having this controller. It's pro, and it will give you the benefits of whooping people's up while you jump like a spider monkey and all that stuff. And I'm still getting used to this controller, so I'm trying to focus on making sure I push the button and also record, and then also not die at the same time. So if I seem a little off, that is what, yeah. Okay, you know what? Let's go ahead and do that run again, but this time I'm just going to focus on the actual gameplay there. Let me turn up the volume. All right, and let's go. Whee! That's better. Alright, how about a little Ratchet and Clank now? Didn't beat the game yet, but I can show you. I have the same button presses here. This is jump, and then this is whack there. And then what's cool is, because like I said, I skipped the hair triggers, go and switch to the little explosive there. As you can see, it still retains the Ratchet and Clank specialty, where I have, go away person, where I do the half press there, and then it aims, and then I fully depress it, and she throws it. So that is the plus. Same thing with this right here. I do kind of a half press, and it's doing the one, and then full press, and it's all the way gone. I'm just wasting ammo there, but yep, that is the benefit of skipping the hair trigger. Now I want to make sure you guys know that if you buy them on Amazon pre-made or the pre-made ones on HexGaming, they all come with the hair triggers, so if you specifically do not want those, you will have to customize them, so just a big heads up right there. Alright, now that you've seen the build quality and what it can do, the real question is it worth the price? Now first, it's important to know that HexGaming is owned by Extreme Rate, who makes all the custom parts in this controller. Just that there. Is it weird that Master Chief is holding a PS5 controller? Now you can actually buy those parts on Amazon and just build this controller yourself if you wanted, so I'm going to do a cost breakdown of how much this would have cost if you just bought the parts from Amazon and built it yourself. Alright, now first up you have the outer shell here, the red chrome, which is $18.99, so just $19, I'll just round it up. And then next up you have the buttons here, the face buttons, which are $13, but as you can see mine actually has gold on the back, and this comes as a set of everything. So in order to get this exact setup you actually have to buy two sets, the gold as well, so that's 13 times 2 there. Then you have the black trackpad, which is $10, and then you have the thumbsticks, which will run you $16. Then you have these little rings around the thumbsticks, which is another $10. And then you have this pad right here, the decorative plate. Now as you can see mine's black, so it looks like it's the original right here, but the thing is if you feel them, the one on the HexGaming one actually has a little bit more texture to it, so I'm just going to go with that's probably, you know, upgrade. So we'll add that to it. That's $14 right there. Then of course you have the back button, which includes this entire back section that comes with a circuit board that you have to solder in as well. That's going to run you $40. And if you want this gold plate here, you have to buy that separately. That'll run you $8. And with that, the running total for all the parts here is $143. But don't forget that it also is all built on top of an original brand new PS5 controller, which will run you another $70, bringing the total to $213. And if you subtract that from the price of this build, which is $295, that comes to $82. Now, is that $82 a lot to pay for them to assemble this for you? Well, for that price, you can actually buy another brand new PS5 controller with tax, with a few dollars to spare. So for some, yes, $82 is a lot. But for others, they simply either do not have time to be fiddling with disassembling and modifying this controller and figuring out the YouTube online tutorial thing and hoping they don't mess up, because they may work long hours, they have family, or they have obligations after work, and they might just be lucky to get an hour of gaming in per day. Or other people just really don't want to build it themselves and they don't like disassembling and stuff, and they would rather pay somebody else to do it and get a 6-month warranty on it as opposed to a hope it doesn't break certificate. And you don't have to be a pro gamer to want a pro custom controller. I mean, I like this thing and I'm definitely no pro. Plus, controllers aren't exactly something you buy on a monthly basis, and for some, this may be the only controller they buy for the life of their PS5, which could be like another 6 years from now for all we know. So in the extreme case, you divide the $82 to build it over 6 years and it comes to $1.14 per month, which is like nothing for some people. And an added benefit of buying it customized from HexGaming is that they allow different colors for the different buttons, bumpers, and thumbsticks, all for the same price, such as this monstrosity that I made right here. If you try to do something like this yourself, you'd have to actually buy 5 sets of the face buttons and 2 sets of the thumbsticks, because they actually allow you to have different colors for the balls, each one, and you might have to buy a 3rd set of thumbsticks if you wanted the white thumbsticks, because some of them only come with the black. Now I went ahead and did the calculation for you to see how much that would have cost, and it actually comes out to $284 if you were to build this yourself with all the different colors, which means that it's only an $11 difference from having HexGaming build it for you. And if you wanted to do the math yourself, remember that mine has the black decorative plate and no hair triggers. If you wanted to change the color of the decorative plate, it's hard to pronounce that, that would be 302, so 303, and then if we added the FastShots triggers, it brings it to a max price of $332.99, so $333. But for a money-saving tip, in case you decide to buy, if you want the hair triggers, it's actually cheaper to buy the pre-made ones on the HexGaming website or from Amazon, because they will run you $290, and they come with the thumbsticks, back button, and the hair triggers. The only thing is you have to live with their pre-customized setup, if that's if you don't mind that, then it's cheaper. But of course, you can use my discount code, SMACKIT5, and save 5% on either this pre-made one or your own customized one. So it'll bring down the price a bit at least. But either way, at this point, you should have a pretty good idea whether this controller is for you or not. Well guys, overall, if you haven't figured it out already, I really like this controller. The thumbsticks feel great, the back paddle buttons feel very ergonomically placed that it almost feels OEM, plus it just looks cool and shiny. Plus, battery life seems to be the same as my original PS5 controller, so that's a plus. And the dome thumbsticks and back buttons have actually improved my game in Fortnite, which really makes me want to get an Xbox Series X version of this, since that's where I mainly play, because all my friends are on Xbox. According to HexGaming, that's coming soon, so definitely can't wait to see it. Now when it comes to build quality and functionality of this controller, it's a hands down get it and you won't regret it. But as for if the price is worth that build quality and functionality, well, there's over a billion different opinions on that, so only you can decide for yourself. As for me, I'm going to be enjoying the living daylights out of this thing, so big thank you again to HexGaming for sending this over. And with that, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.